Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Rachel, can we get a roll call?
Trustee Bellinger. I
She's
see you.
muted.
She's
Here.
there she goes.
Trustee Bunkowski.
Here.
Trustee Guerrero.
Here.
Trustee Meissen.
Here.
Trustee Percoli.
Here.
President Pridemore.
Here.
Clerk Whitsett. And Attorney Kelly.
Here.
Okay, approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Support.
Been moved and supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Any public comment on the agenda? Okay, hearing none. First item on the agenda is the vacant trustee seat. We're going to have to post the vacancy, and I propose we post it tomorrow.
We have 30
We'll post
days.
it on the village website, and we will ask for either emails or letters of interest from the public.
Will this be an interim position until an election can be held?
Yeah, it will complete my 2 years.
Okay.
So the position will be up in 2022.
Up until, so the election will be, what's the next election coming up? So November.
2022. If I'm doing the math right, 2022.
Yeah, it just so happens that it works out that the next general election would be the same time that Mrs. Bradmore's position would be up anyway.
Yeah. So can we have a motion to post the trustee seat?
I make a motion that we post the trustee seat start on tomorrow.
Support. I have a question.
Go on your question.
And we have 30 days to fill the seat, Ann, is that correct?
I believe so, Mr. Kelly. Do you? You're muted.
I was trying to unmute myself and it wasn't on me. That's correct, yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we have 30 days, so we can leave the listing open for a while, so we can get more applicants until the middle of December. The
Okay,
election was on the 3rd. Well, 30 days.
Well,
It'd be December 3rd.
you took your seat on the 20th, correct?
Right, but Mr. Kelly, would it be from the 20th or the 3rd?
No, I think we can do it from the 20th because the seat wasn't vacated until the 20th technically. So I think we're okay in that respect.
Okay, okay. We'll post it until the 20th. Sound good?
So we can post until the 20th, or the seat has to be filled by the 20th?
We can post up until the meeting in December is the 9th, I believe. So today is the 23rd, 2 weeks. Would that be long enough? And then we could decide on the December meeting? Or do you want to leave it vacant for another week after that? We would have to have someone in definitely before the January meeting.
Well, Sean, from a legal standpoint, what date does the seat have to be filled by?
Oh, I think, and this is going from memory because I haven't been asked to look at the statutes yet, but I'm 99% positive it's 30 days from the vacancy. So we should be okay. I mean, if you want to have a special meeting after the next regular meeting, but that's a policy question. I mean, legally, within 30 days, we'll be okay.
Okay, the December meeting is the second Tuesday of the month. Do you think that would be enough time to get responses?
I would think that we would have responses by the December meeting. I've had a few people who have reached out to me already asking, and it seemed like they were interested in filling out a letter.
Yeah, I have too.
I think so.
So,
Same.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
okay,
so
so
too.
why don't we leave it open until the Friday before the meeting?
That's December 4th.
Thank you, December 4th. And then we'll forward the information to all of you, and then we can make a decision at the December meeting.
That sounds
Sounds
great. I
good.
think 2 weeks is good.
So
Oh.
it will not, it will be the intention then that this will be an appointed position until 2022. There will be no special election for an elected official in the meantime.
No, no. When Terry Tidwell resigned, we did the same thing, and that's how Chris Craig Miles got, I think that was Craig Miles,
Right.
got on board. So yeah, that's all it is. It's appointed for 2 years.
Yeah, and then when I took over Craig Miles's position, it was on until the next general election, which was a couple of years ago.
Right, you
Yeah,
were
that's
appointed the first time around too, so.
Yep, I was appointed also.
Okay,
But that was like a midterm thing. So you had to run for that seat for the remaining 2 years.
Right, yeah.
but
this
it's
is-
past the time for the midterm, so it's just gonna be appointed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
great.
we had Mr. Meister, Ms. Bonkowski, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, all ayes. And posted until, you said the 4th?
Yeah, that's the Friday before.
All righty. And hold on 1 second. Okay, we have a resolution to appoint an interim treasurer. As you know, nobody applied for the position. We've had a problem filling the position for the past couple of elections. We've been lucky, one person each election for the past 3 elections has applied, but we didn't luck out this time. We seem to have a problem with people interested in becoming a treasurer. So we have a resolution in front of us to appoint an interim treasurer. And again, I think we should post it on the village website, social media until December 4th. But the chances are for this, no one may apply for it. So, Mr. Kelly, if no one applies for the treasurer's position, has this ever happened in a municipality before?
Not that I'm aware of off the top of my head, President Pridemore, but I will look into it so that we're ready for such a contingency, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, the statutes under the General Law Village Act don't really contemplate that. It just says shall, appoint a treasurer. So.
Yeah, I've looked that up too. Can anybody hazard a guess as to why we're having a hard time filling that position?
I have no idea, and I couldn't even speculate.
Okay,
if we-
because we're
if we
going to, go ahead.
If we do have if we do run into the case where we can't get somebody to apply for it, and we have to do a contingency plan, Mr. Kelly, I'd be curious if it would be reasonable to, with her agreement to appoint Mrs. Kazel as the treasurer. She's already the accountant. I don't know if that would be considered a conflict of interest having the accountant be the treasurer, but
Yeah, you can't
we-
self-audit.
so
Yeah, we kind of looked into this a little bit with the Incompatibility Offices Act, and it probably won't be with her. It won't be possible, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend, and I've been making this recommendation for years, that expecting to pay somebody $200 a month for visiting the office at least once or twice a week, every week, isn't worth it. Now, I've gone on the Michigan Municipal League website and did comparable pay studies for treasurers in other municipalities, and we're at the low end of the scale. So what I'm going to propose is that we increase the pay for the village treasurer so that maybe more people would become interested in it. I was thinking around the $400 mark. That would be $100 about a week to come in and do a very important job. We need somebody to deal with accounts receivables, accounts payable. This isn't a job that we can let go vacant. So any thoughts on that?
I have a question and maybe Rachel can answer because you have experience in that position. Realistically, how many hours per week did you put in when you were the treasurer? Once you got, I know at first there's probably going to be a lot, but once you're
Yeah,
acclimated.
There's a learning curve at first. I would say I probably went in at least 3 times a week for at least an hour, hour and a half each time. There, of
Okay.
course, depending on the time of the month that, you know, which payroll was coming up, you had to look a little further into it to make sure everything was right, the taxes were good, make tax payments, that kind of thing. It took more time sometimes, but other times it was just, you know, routine, check in, grab the deposit, go to the bank, do what you got to do, sign checks, make sure everything's going.
Can only the treasurer deposit funds?
The treasurer by law, by the General Village Law Act, has very specific duties. They handle the bank accounts.
Okay.
They handle
Yeah.
accounts receivable. They handle accounts payable. And the way the Incompatible Offices Act works and the GASB rules, General Accounting Standards, there's no other position that would be able to handle that because one would either be subordinate to the other one or it would be a case of self-auditing.
Right.
We need a body, someone that is not an elected official, someone not working in the office. And like I said, you know, go on the Michigan Municipal League website, look at the pay scales. New Haven's at the low end of the ball. $50 a week to do that. And there hasn't been a raise in, I don't know how long, the 6 years I've been in office. So I think it's time that we brought the pay scale up, maybe as an inducement to have people apply for this.
I would
Other
be in
than that,
favor.
I really don't know how else to encourage people to apply.
I would be in favor in general of increasing the wages of it, but the most important thing right now is we need somebody in that position. And if we have a problem getting people running in the election, I mean, I would anticipate having a problem having people even, you know, apply to be appointed. I mean, just the only difference is you have the added step of an election in the process. But I mean, even if you're being appointed, I mean, you're really being elected by the board too. So.
Right, exactly. And at this point, we'd be lucky to get a body. Now, right now, I've talked back and forth with Mr. Kelly and Mr. Addis, and we do have a person who's willing to step in and help us on a temporary basis until we have applications and an appointment as treasurer. I've talked to Clerk Witsett. She's going to act in an advisory capacity because she is not allowed to do it because the position cannot self-audit. So right now we have a warm body that's going to help us out until we do get this appointment because it is such an important job. So what I'm looking for is the board's permission not only to pass the resolution to appoint the interim treasurer, but to also increase the pay. There'll be separate motions. So I'm looking for a motion to appoint the interim treasurer.
I make a motion to appoint the interim treasurer.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Clerk, what's that? Can we get a roll call on this?
I have a question.
Sure.
Who is that interim?
I'm sorry,
Who is the interim?
Jennifer Pogorski. She's a former trustee. She's familiar, it was a while ago, but she is familiar peripherally with some of the reports, having been a trustee, and she's been working for the village before, so we were lucky to have her step up. Corinna, you made the motion. Who was the support?
Trustee Meissen.
I had supported it. I actually kind of had misinterpreted it. I was thinking that we were doing the resolution.
To appoint the interim treasurer, right? Did you still want to support?
Don't we need to pass the resolution to allow us to appoint the treasurer first?
This is for the resolution to appoint the interim treasurer.
Well, the motion was to appoint the treasurer.
I'm sorry. Let's do that again. I'm looking for a motion to pass the resolution to appoint the interim treasurer.
So
And that's when I had stated I make the motion to appoint a resolution for treasurer.
No, you make the resolution to allow us to appoint an interim treasurer. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the support?
I support the resolution, correct.
Okay, Rachel, can we get a roll call?
Trustee Guerrero,
Wait, okay, wait, I want to go backwards a minute. So it's Jennifer Podgorski, you said. Jeff, did we ask Jeff if he was interested?
I did send him an email and I got no response, and he came in and turned in his keys.
Okay, I just asked because he has experience and that would be a little bit less of a learning
Oh, yeah,
curve.
that was my first step, but
Yeah, I'm not sure, okay.
Well, I think we're still maybe getting hung up on the confusion on what this motion is. So this motion is,
that's right.
this is just for
you muted.
You muted.
resolution 20-019, the resolution to allow the Village of New Haven to appoint a treasurer.
Okay,
Correct.
that's what I was
Correct.
confused
That's
about.
Roll call?
This motion is not necessarily about who we're appointing. It's just that we're allowing ourselves to appoint a treasurer at this
Right.
time.
because, and also, it should be mentioned, the resolution is temporary. It's only until the next general election.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then,
now can we get a roll call?
Trustee Guerrero,
hold on, please. But Ms. Pridemore, before you make the appointment, are you going to let us all know who that is? How is that going to be handled?
Oh, no, the council will have to approve.
Okay, so the entire council will approve. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right,
Trustee Guerrero,
yes.
Trustee Meissen,
Yes.
Trustee Procoli,
Yes.
Trustee Bellinger,
Jessica, you're on.
no?
No.
Okay,
Trustee Bunkowski,
I'm going to say no.
and President Pridemore.
yes. Okay, now we've got a resolution to approve authorized financial signatories. Sean, I have a question for you. Since we do not have a treasurer yet, will passing this resolution, will we have to reauthorize another resolution once we get a treasurer appointed?
Yeah, when I drafted this resolution, I just left it blank. So I don't know. I put name, primary name, secondary name, and I didn't get any of the backup documents. So I haven't seen what you're looking at. I don't know what the names say right now, or if any names were put in there. So if there's names in there, or it's just positions. If it's positions, we can leave it. Like if it just says treasurer, then clerk, then one of the other trustees, we could leave it alone. We would have to pass another one. But if we're doing it, if we're declaring who each of these people are by name and position, then we'd have to do a second one. But I mean, if we leave it as treasurer.
Okay, so we could just leave them blank.
Treasurer, and then whoever's treasurer is treasurer, and there, yeah.
Okay. So we're looking a motion to pass a resolution. Do we have a resolution number, clerk? What's that?
20-019.
Looking for a motion to pass resolution 20-019 to approve authorized financial signatories.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 20-019, a motion for, what was it, for signatures.
Do I have a support? Okay, it's been moved and supported. All those in favor?
I have a question on it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he said that if there's no names or positions on there, so I'm looking at the resolution right now and it just has name blank, primary, secondary with no positions. So is this something that we will have to revisit when we do have a new treasurer?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I'm asking anybody.
Yeah. Okay. No, I thought they had put the names in there. Like I said, I didn't get the backup documents. I drafted this resolution and sent it, and I assumed Sandy was going to fill it in or whoever. So I didn't know. So to answer your question, I was hoping that there was something in there, but I mean, as long as somebody can, before it's signed by the president and the clerk, if someone writes, you could handwrite it in, right? Scratch out name and secondary, primary, put treasurer at the top, and then put whoever that is and whoever that person is, that those two secondary people are, and we'll be okay in that respect.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah, we
So
can pass that and add signatures and positions later.
But do we want to change from the names to the positions on the motion itself?
No, we don't have to. Once they sign it, they can put down person and position. Is that correct, Sean?
We'll have
That's
to
correct.
revisit it for every time you change it.
Yeah. well, if-
Yeah, every time we change signatories on the bank cards, yeah, we will have to.
Yeah.
Sean, have we ever had a resolution before authorizing signatories?
Not to my knowledge, and it's not strictly necessary, but it's a very, very good practice. It's best practices. No, what I mean as far as with the names, if you just put treasurer on there for now, you can leave it, right? So whenever the treasurer changes from this temporary interim to the quote unquote interim, that's gonna be the treasurer all the way up until the next election. If you just leave it as treasurer, I think we'll be okay, because it's whoever is in that treasurer position that's going to be the authorized primary signatory.
Okay,
Well,
can
thank
we table this until we update it with the position names? But
Absolutely.
in the meantime, Rachel has to be put on the bank cards. Can we do that without passing the resolution?
I'd rather have at least one name on here, even if we leave the other two blank, put a name on here now. And that way we at least have something to show the bank if they ask for it.
You're gonna need two names because there's two
Yeah, that's
signatures
right.
needed on the checks.
That's right.
Right.
So, yeah, it'd be best to have two names on the resolution now and leave the other one just as treasurer with the position of treasurer, but a name blank, and then revisit it later. But if you can't even get two people on there, then at least one for now, for something.
Well, quick question. I'm on the bank accounts now.
Okay.
Rachel will be on the bank account. Once we hire an interim treasurer and we get a member of council to volunteer to go on the bank account, then can we go back and amend this resolution, or would it have to be a whole new resolution?
You could do either or. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. We could just pass a new one to supersede this one.
Okay. Speaking of which, do we have a volunteer on council to be a signatory on the bank accounts?
I would volunteer.
Okay. So right now we could put Tracy Bonkowski's name council and Rachel Wissett's name as clerk on the resolution as it stands, correct?
That'd be great.
Okay.
If you write it in and sign it, that'd be excellent then. Yeah.
Okay. So can we have a motion to pass resolution 20019 as amended?
So moved.
Support?
I support it.
Who was that?
Karina
Okay.
Guerrero.
Okay, and can we get a roll call on this?
Trustee Meissen,
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero,
Yes.
Trustee Procoli,
yes.
Trustee Bunkowski,
Yes.
Trustee Ballinger,
Yes.
and President Pridemore.
Yes. And I will go in tomorrow and I will amend that resolution to include two names and their positions. Is that okay? All right.
Acceptable.
Okay, and do we have a call from the floor?
Yeah, I'd like to, this is Mark Colley. I'd like to address the council if I may.
Okay, Mark. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi, sorry about that. Yeah. So I would like to formally just let the council know that I intend on submitting a letter of interest and a resume for the trustee position. I think I know most of everybody. At least I've met and talked with most of you all. I'm currently on the work on the fire department as an EMT. And I'll look forward to the posting and then I'll get a letter off to everybody. But I wanted to kind of be on tonight and let everybody know that I'm interested. So thank you, and we'll talk to you.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Call from the floor. Okay, call from the table.
President Primer, we were talking about previously for the increasing the pay for treasurer to the $400 a month. Is that something that you were wanting to make a motion for tonight, or is that something that we would talk about in December?
We'll talk about it in December. I'd like everybody to think about it and do your homework. Go on the MML website if you can for the page, wage page. Say that 3 times real fast. And that way you can get an idea of what other communities are paying. Communities our size and our financial bottom line are paying the workers. So does that sound like a deal?
And just because it kind of worried me when we mentioned it tonight because it was not on the agenda. So if we're ever talking about increasing wages for any position or whatever, I'd like to see it on the agenda so that the public knows beforehand that that's a possibility.
Right. We'll be talking about it in December. That's why it wasn't on the schedule today.
Okay. All right. I mean, it was mentioned that it might be done today, and I thought I'm in support of it, but not if it was going to be done tonight.
No. It wasn't on the, when you call a special meeting, you have to stick to what's on the page.
Right.
So no, that's going to come up in the December meeting.
And now with the passing of the resolution for allowing the village to temporarily appoint a treasurer, are we then going to be doing the interim treasurer appointments you mentioned a name, I guess I'm confused. Are we?
No, Jennifer Bonkowski is just going to help us out. She's not being appointed to anything.
Podgorski.
Podgorski.
Podgorski, Podgurski. She's going to kind of be an interim contract worker. Hopefully by December, this will be over with and we can appoint a real treasurer. But right now we need a warm body there or the wheels grind to a halt.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else? Call from the floor.
Oh, just good job on the Christmas idea that you came up with for the parade and such. That sounds like a great idea.
Parks and Recs ran with it, and Assistant Chief Steer ran with it, and I think it's nice. I think it's nice for us to have a little holiday cheer going around and rattle in the bars in the neighborhood. So I give them all the credit. It's good to work with them.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody got anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 7:28.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.